All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is Greg Moody with RevMarketing.com and Rev Publish, and I'm here with a very special guest and author from one of the top martial arts schools in Massachusetts. So he's a local renowned martial arts instructor and now author and school owner. I'd like to welcome Jeffrey Konich of Hudson, Massachusetts. Thanks for being here, sir.
Thanks for having me, sir.
Well, thanks for joining us on this RevMarketing.com and Rev Publish interview. I have a few questions to ask you. I'm really impressed with your background. And you just wrote the book, The Parent's Guide to Black Belt Way, 7 Master Secrets to Make Your Child a Successful Leader. And I'm really excited about your book. Can you describe why you titled the book with its name?
Yes, sir. So a lot of families train together at our school, and a lot of the problems that parents face when their kids sign up in martial arts schools are kind of solved with this book. And it really helps to put together what I feel are the fundamental secrets to making your child a leader instead of just simply a follower.
Well, that's exciting. I mean, so really the ideas that you've been building in the school for so many years, I mean, for many, many years, you look very young, but you've been doing this for a long, long time, have been transferred into this book. So people that are in your martial arts school, but also outside of your martial arts school can learn these 7 secrets to help their kids, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's the reason or passion you have for writing the book?
Well, it's kind of my whole life coming full circle. And now that I'm older and I have my kids on the mat with me, I want to be able to kind of set a foundation for those kids and the future generations to do even better than I did and have more opportunity than I did.
So they can learn from what your experiences are and even do better.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's fantastic. What are some specific goals and objectives that the students and the parents that read this book can hope to achieve?
Well, your child's going to be goal-oriented. They're going to know what that means. They're going to be capable of taking care of themselves. Self-regulation is a big piece of what's in here. That goes beyond just normal self-control. Your kids are going to be able to take care of their environment and those around them, the true attributes of a leader.
Well, yeah, you know what I notice in the world today, it's very difficult, and maybe it's been in the world forever, but one of the things that makes the difference between somebody who's successful and somebody that's not is that they can pay attention to the environment and they understand how to manage what's going on around them. And it sounds like that's something that you're addressing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What are some of the different secrets that you cover? There's 7 of them. Well, you can't tell all the secret parts of the secrets, but what are some of the big keys that you're covering?
Well, we talk about things like your child's interest. A lot of parents make the mistake of letting their child take the wheel when it comes to their educational development, and they might not understand that they have a say in their child's education, regardless of whether or not they're interested in it. So it really starts with that to set the tone. And then it gets into creating habits of character and tasks and scheduling a process, a daily process that allows these things to kind of set in with repetition. We talk about building resiliency and using accountability, not just for the commitments that we make in our educational process and providing for our future, but just in the type of person that we are. It helps the parents to be involved while also leading by example, showing their kids that they're not perfect, but also letting their kids see, well, when I'm a grown-up like my parents, I'm still going to have to be working on myself. And it helps the child to develop a vision, to be able to see beyond the end of their nose, to see beyond the next year, look 4, 5, 6, 10 years down the road. And then, of course, there's 7 secrets, but really there's also a hidden secret. And I won't ruin that for anybody, but there's a hidden secret somewhere in the book as well.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Well, it reminds me a lot of when parents that do a very mindful job of working with their kids that I think you're laying out, then they have a better relationship with their kids, and they enjoy their relationship, they enjoy their home life a lot better. And what I notice with the kids with the parents that I work with, and you and I both do a lot of work with kids, that if they're not paying attention to these kind of things, that what happens is their kids get a little further off the track that they'd like them to be on. And then the only way to get them back on track is to, maybe they feel frustrated, and when the parent feels frustrated, then they may yell at them, or they don't know what to do. It's really hard to get them back on track. But if they're keeping them on the path that they'd like them to follow, which I think your book outlines really well, then it's really easy, and they have a really nice relationship with their kids, and their whole home life is better. So I'm really excited about parents getting to read your book and getting to take on some of the skills. And of course, a great thing would be if they can go to your martial arts school and get to experience it firsthand. Of course, if they don't, because sometimes people will be too far away, I'm sure you'll get to share this a lot further than Massachusetts, then those people will be able to take advantage of some of these benefits too.
Absolutely. And, you know, if somebody is too far away, they can always tune in virtually, and we'll have some webinars set up as well to kind of guide people through the book.
Well, that's fantastic too. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself, and we kind of jumped ahead and didn't talk about that. Tell us a little bit about you as the author, so people can learn who they're reading about, or who wrote this stuff.
So I have a background in working with young ages, but also developmental disorders. I started my training with a child psychologist, and that kind of set the tone for me. So I decided not to study psychology in school, because I was studying it in practice at the martial arts school. And I went on to study complementary healthcare and integrative therapy, and then philosophy. And at the end of my degree, I got to create my own concentration of philosophy called holistic education. And everything that I've learned, I've kind of applied to the school and to the process as I was learning it, and re-implementing it and integrating it to kind of create a really unique program. And the book kind of outlines that well. In addition to serving in the military for 10 years, I have a really keen understanding on how leadership systems work, and how to really create that culture in a student without necessarily having to teach them the attributes. But the core fundamentals of this book, if followed appropriately, will create an individual who is kind of personifying those principles, as we call them in the book, the 12 leadership traits.
Well, that's pretty exciting. Well, I'm excited about hearing the results of you getting this book out in the community and getting it to more people. So if people want to find you at your martial arts school, I have the greatest respect for you and the instructors that you have working for you, open in the community already. But if they want to find you at your martial arts school, I know they should go to jeffsfamilykarate.com, or they can give you a call at 781-217-3949. I get those numbers right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And you're in Hudson, Massachusetts, and people should go look for you and make sure that they can find you. Did you have any other comments about the experience of working with Rev Marketing and Rev Publish while you were doing this book?
I think it's absolutely outstanding. The team is there along the way guiding me, lots of resources, and being able to have constant feedback on my work and also have a deadline was really important. The first initial webinar was a great foundation to really help me understand how to formulate this book, which I've been putting together for a long time. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Well, one of our goals is to make sure that we get more people like you with some really wonderful messages, to get those messages out into the community, and you get it on paper, so it becomes a more significant thing for people. When they see it on paper, then they can embed those ideas a lot more, these great ideas that you have, and it can be more significant. And so we'll be looking forward to your next book as well.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody, and thanks for joining us here at revmarketing.com and Rev Publish for our business interview. And thanks again, Jeffrey Konish, for being here today. And we look forward to your new book, The Parent's Guide to Black Belt Way: 7 Master Secrets to Make Your Child a Successful Leader.
Thank you, sir.